Welcome to Shreveport Connection with Tommy. This video is on your SmackDown and 205 live results. Yes, they have had two back-to-back weekends with showings last week and then this week. For the week of December the 6th, 2019, birthdays from December the 4th, Victor, 1980, Miss Tessmacher, Rook Adams, 1984, Hiromu Takahashi, 1989. December 5th birthdays, the living legend Larry Zbyszko, the Dynamite Kid from the British Bulldogs fame. He was born 1958. December 7th birthdays, Hall of Famer Sonny turned 47. Jordan Miles from NXT, that's no longer with NXT anymore. ACH turned 32. AEW star Jon Moxley turned 34, formerly known as Dean Ambrose, and former WWE star Mr. Hughes turned 55. Also would have been the 61st birthday of the ravishing Rick Rude. Bobby Fulton, one half of the Fantastics with Tommy Rogers, announced yesterday that he has been diagnosed with throat cancer. Bobby, age 59, made his wrestling debut in 1977 and had a lengthy career that took him through promotions like Smoky Mountain Wrestling, World Class Championship Wrestling, Jim Crockett Promotions, among other companies. That's WCW, early NWA. Retiring in 2018, Fulton captured numerous championship titles during his career, including the NWA United States Tag Team Championship. Last night, Fulton wrote on his Facebook that this Tuesday, a plan will be put together for his treatment going forward. Good evening, Fulton began. It's Friday, December 6th at 11 p.m. As you know, or most know, I had a very important doctor's appointment today. News wasn't what I wanted to hear. God, my Heavenly Father, has never done me wrong, ever. I serve a mighty God, a risen Savior, in my Lord Jesus Christ. I want no sympathy. I'm just informing you that I have cancer in my throat. That's going to be treated. The game plan is being put together on this coming Tuesday. I want your continued prayers. All things work together for good for those that love God, that are called according to His purpose. No sympathy, just prayers. Thanks. Me, myself, I gave him my personal condolences and best in healing. And when God's with you, nobody can be against you. Not even cancer. I wish him the best in his battle. So if Roman Reigns can do it, Dr. Death can do it, then he can do it as well. Shane McMahon, who has been away from WWE since his SummerSlam stipulation, it will be appearing on Sunday's episode of NCIS Los Angeles on a reoccurring character on CBS. Shane is reprising his role as Army CID Special Agent Steve Evans, a character that debuted this past May. The show airs on Sunday at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time on CBS. Matt Hardy and Reby Hardy have recently welcomed their third child into the world, a third son. Reby gave birth to the new Hardy baby boy sometime earlier this week, according to PW Insider. It was either Wednesday or Thursday. And I'll post a link to their picture of the baby in a few minutes, as Matt tweeted around 4:45 a.m. Eastern Time and wrote what presumably are the initials of the new baby boy. He tweeted, BKH. The happy couple are receiving numerous congratulatory messages from fans and friends on social media. Matt and Reby already have two sons together, Wolfgang and Maxwell. Y'all have seen them on Impact when they were in Impact Wrestling with his brother Jeff, with his broken character. And here's Matt's full tweet along with Reby's baby bump Instagram photo from Monday of this week. And by the way, I didn't see any bump on her picture. I think it was taken after the baby. The vessel of Matt Hardy at Matt Hardy brand. BKH. Only thing he said. Matt Hardy and reby welcomed their son Wednesday night. The birth was covered by People magazine and the WWE website, revealing that the boy is named Bartholomew Barty Kit Hardy. He was born weighing in at 8.6 pounds at 4:16 a.m. on Eastern Time on Wednesday. That's 3:16 Central Time. Matt talked to People magazine and gave them the first official shots from a photo shoot. I've grown more excited with each new addition to our family, and Barty was no exception. I was ecstatic to witness my son be born at home, and the love I already have for him is indescribable. Matt said. He added also, I'm immensely proud of my wife, Reby, for opting for an at-home natural birth. She was a warrior. And you can see his tweets and photos of the babies right here at this link. He says, indescribable love at that link. Reby commented, yes, another Hardy boy. Read all about all our newest edition at this link. And Matt Hardy rounding out the last one at Matt Hardy brand. Love before first sight at this link. I might put them all together. Triple H scouted talent in Japan this past July and was interested in signing Saori. Saori is apparently WWE bound and will be bringing the STF with her. Tokyo Sports had an article noting that Saori asked Masahiro Chono to use the STF in WWE. Chono gave Saori her blessing to use the move. Speaking of signees, WWE holding another round of tryouts at the PC Center, the Performance Center in Orlando this week. Beginning on Thursday, December 5th, as I'm doing this video on Saturday. One name confirmed for the tryouts is Arissa LeBrock, according to Square Circle Sirens. If you're not familiar with that name, remember Kelly LeBrock, the wife of Steven Seagal, or former wife. Arissa, 26-year-old, daughter of Steven Seagal, from his previous marriage to Kelly LeBrock. On last night's AEW, Nyla Rose defeated Leva Bates with ease. She then decided to really make the point by beating up Bates some more after the match ended. Looking to get some revenge for Rose's attack during her fan meet and greet, Shanna came to the ring to make the save. Rose would put not only referee Rick Knox through a table, but then powerbomb Shanna down on top of the referee. AEW has since announced as a result of her actions from Wednesday night, because it was done after I did my video recording on Wednesday night. AEW Dynamite at Nyla Rose Beast has been suspended without pay for the rest of the year 2019 by #AEW Management. 2 episodes of Dynamite remain before the end of the year, as there will not be a new episode on Christmas, which falls on a Wednesday. As of last Friday's AEW rankings, Rose was number 4 in the women's division. Last month, WWE announced that during the November 15th SmackDown from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, the 2020 Elimination Chamber pay-per-view will be held at the Wells Fargo Center on March 8th. The arena announced today that the tickets for the Chamber pay-per-view will go on sale next Friday, December 13th at 10 a.m. at the Wells Fargo Center Philly.com at the arena box office, or by phone at 1-800-298-4200. That's 1-800-298-4200. Tickets will start at $25. And show you a picture of that as well. 2020 Elimination Chamber pay-per-view will be the final big event before WrestleMania 36 on April the 5th. The first promotional graphic for the event features WWE Universal Champion The Fiend, Bray Wyatt, Braun Strowman, Randy Orton, SmackDown Tag Team Champion Kofi Kingston, Sasha Banks, Roman Reigns, AJ Styles, Raw Women's Champion Becky Lynch, Charlotte Flair, and Seth Rollins. No mention of the other SmackDown tag team members or champions or other. Stay tuned for the storylines and all that. But that's just a possible spoiler for the pay-per-view. The commercial for AEW aired on TNT this week that took some shots at NXT, despite NXT defeating AEW in the ratings for the past 2 weeks in a row. The spot featured graphics of news the headlines touting AEW recently defeating NXT in the ratings. But this week's show, AEW just squeaked out by 2,000 votes. So AEW won this week's ratings. The headlines featured, including AEW Dynamite crushes NXT, AEW Dynamite trounces NXT, and AEW Dynamite buries NXT. There's like 3 boxes in the graphic. According to Dave Meltzer on Wrestling Observer Radio, the ad was not an AEW idea, so apparently TNT created the spot. While AEW might not have created the commercial, they may have been taking their own shot at NXT. As previously reported, AEW parodied Britt Baker's cameo appearance from NXT TakeOver on this past Saturday. War Games, which was last month, by having her replicate her look of shot during a segment on AEW Dynamite when she was at ringside. Cody Rhodes took his own shot at NXT on last night's Dynamite as well. While cutting a promo on MJF, Cody addressed MJF using his Crossroads finisher on Adam Page last week. Not to mention MJF does the worst Crossroads ever, Cody said. At least they're botching it on 2 channels now. Cody's comment was a shot at NXT star Damian Priest's version of the move. Reported on Wednesday by Square Circle Sirens, WWE is holding another round of tryouts at the Performance Center in Orlando this week. The tryouts were to begin on Wednesday night. I already told you about Steven Seagal's daughter. That's one of them. Also, the following names: Jessica Roden. She's a graduate of the University of Alabama from California. She works in marketing and also does modeling. She has been training for pro wrestling since May, working at SoCal Pro Wrestling School. And you see a link for her. Aja Pereira, 25-year-old from Atlanta, made her pro wrestling debut in 2013. She is the current Girl Fight champion and the current Shine Tag Team champion with Big Swole. She has also held the Shine Nova title in the past and worked for promotions such as Shimmer, Queens of Combat, and others, including some international promotions. And her video. Jennifer Cantu, 23-year-old from Mexico, is a weightlifter who won gold at the International Weightlifting Federation World Cup in China. That win put her in contention for the next Olympics, according to SCS. And you know Vince McMahon is highly on bodybuilders. And her video is at this link. Laney Nations, the MMA fighter from Russia, is nicknamed the Russian Assassin and is ranked 182 out of 1,180 active female MMA fighters in the U.S. She currently has a record of 4 wins, 1 loss, no draws. She won her last fight by unanimous decision on October 5th over Caitlin Ratka. And her video is at this link. The Wednesday night war between NXT and AEW will be taking a few weeks off later this month. There's currently no NXT episodes scheduled to air on Christmas Day or New Year's Day. No Dynamite episode scheduled to air on Christmas, but there is a show scheduled for New Year's Day. AEW will return to their home base of Jacksonville, Florida at Daly's Place for Dynamite that night. NXT is scheduled to return to NXT Arena at Full Sail University in Winter Park, Florida on Wednesday, January 8th. This is the night that the winners of the NXT year-end awards will be revealed. I mentioned that in, I think, Monday's results. No word yet on what sort of highlight specials or year-end review shows might air on these off nights, but stay tuned as I'll keep you posted. And the latest injury report. No, I did not get the video from Matt Kemp featuring updates on NXT Superstars from this week's episode, but we got just one or two. Following injuries are announced coming out of this week's NXT episode from the USA Network, which are usually part of storylines only for the most part. Regarding the brawl between Mia Yim and Dakota Kai, Kemp said Yim is cleared for a singles match with Kai next week and was fine after this week's fight. It was believed that Kai suffered facial injuries during the brawl, but Kemp said she refused medical attention. Rhea Ripley suffered a strained vocal box from the therapeutic clutch by NXT Women's Champion Shayna Baszler. It was noted that Ripley will rest and seek further evaluation if necessary. Ripley versus Baszler for the title is still planned for December 18th. Damian Priest was still not cleared from his rib injury on this week's NXT, which is why Killian Dane issued an open challenge instead of their singles match. Pete Dunne answered the challenge and suffered hurt ribs from the cannonball into the steel steps. He also landed awkwardly on his already hurt left knee. It was noted that Dunne re-aggravated his knee injury and is suffering from rib pain. He considered day-to-day and will follow up for more further evaluation. It sounds like a sequel to Wrestler is in the works. As I read on the dirt sheet and also on Twitter, there was a Total Divas bonus clip from this week's episode. Natalya revealed to the other cast member that actor Jason Momoa wants her to appear in an upcoming movie called Wrestler 2. Natalya noted that Momo wants her to play his former lover in the movie. Momo will presumably play the lead role of the featured pro wrestler, but none of this has been officially announced. Natalya also said Momo wants her to wrestle a match in the movie, and she was asked which other wrestlers she thinks she would do well with in the ring. Once I found out who Jason Momoa is, I'm like, this is pretty cool. He's a really big star. He's an actor who has been on Game of Thrones, who is also the star of Aquaman. So, the fact that he is now interested in having me in the movie is huge. Natalya told the Total Divas cameras The Wrestler 2 would be the sequel to the popular 2008 drama that starred Mickey Rourke as Randy the Ram Johnson. The movie was directed and produced by Darren Aronofsky and also starred Marissa Tomei and Evan Rachel Wood. The film told the story of an aging Robinson who continued to wrestle on the indies after a mainstream success in the 1980s. While trying to find romance and repair his relationship with his daughter, the movie won several awards and made almost $50 million at the box office with a $6 million budget. According to film sites, several wrestlers appeared in the movie, and one of the matches with the Ram versus Ernest the Cat Miller's character took place at a Ring of Honor event in a Ring of Honor ring. Wrestling stars who appeared different scenes or in around the background of scenes in the movie include Miller, WWE 24/7 champion R-Truth, WWE announcer Nigel McGuinness, WWE NXT superstar Robert Stone, aka Robbie E., Romeo Roselli, DJ Hyde, John Hendig, Necro Butcher, the Blue Meanie was even in it. I didn't recognize him. Jay Lethal, Jim Powers, I did recognize him, and others. Jim Powers was in WWE. The WWE Hall of Famer Alpha Anoy and some of his trainers worked with Rourke to get him ready for the role. The movie led to WWE promoting the film through a storyline that saw Chris Jericho go against several WWE Hall of Famers and legends. After appearing in the 2009 WWE Hall of Fame ceremony, Rourke appeared at WrestleMania 25 for an angle that saw Jericho attack Ric Flair after his handicap match win over Ricky Dragon Steamboat, Jimmy Snuka, and Roddy Piper. Jericho then challenged Rourke, and the angle ended with Rourke entering the ring to drop Jericho with a punch. There's been no other word on the Wrestling 2 being produced. But stay tuned, as I'll keep you updated whenever I find out. But this was posted like 2 days ago. Natalia has since posted on social media an update on the story and said someone pretending to be Jason Momoa reached out to her and the offer wasn't real. Well, we should further clarify while filming #Total Divas, I was catfished, LOL, by a guy pretending to be Jason Momoa. It was a pretty hilarious situation and a long story. As Sonya Deville, WWE definitely wants me to tell the story over and over again. Ronda Rousey recently spoke with E! Online and gave an update on her plans to get pregnant and expand the family with Travis Brown. We're just putting it out in the universe and letting nature take its course, and not trying to rush it or put any pressure on ourselves. As Rousey said, just kind of enjoy our time as a family together, enjoying every day and accepting it whenever it happens. And you can also go to YouTube and search for Ronda Rousey's account. In regard to why she chose to discuss baby plans on the show, Rousey said she hoped to make the topic less hush-hush and taboo for everyone. Rousey added that she and Brown are truly focused on their time together, just the two of them. You know, we're not taking ovulation tests or anything like that, she continued, but I'm also not on the road 200 days a year and taking power bombs every night. So I'm sure that helps. While she and Brown hope to one day have a child, content to be like, oh, there's nobody out there for me. If this, Rousey said, about life before Brown family, and then it went from that, looking out for number one, to completely an entire family. It taught me how much joy I can get in not really thinking about myself. Rousey previously vowed to never cook for a man, but she told E! that cooking at home has been a sort of love language for she and Brown. I swore all my life that I would never cook for a man, and F that crap. I'm keeping it PG, but she said the dirty words. I'm not here to serve you. B-word, Rousey said, laughing. And Trav has completely changed my whole mind about everything. He did that not by ever asking me to cook, but for cooking for me for the first year and a half we were together. The home life between Rousey and Brown will be a topic of next Tuesday's Total Divas Season 9 finale. NBA star Enes Kanter, who recently won the 24/7 championship, is ready to start a WWE career once he stops playing basketball. In September, the Boston Celtics center won the 24/7 title from R-Truth in a segment that took place during the pre-Raw main event tapings at Madison Square Garden in New York City. The segment ended with Truth regaining the title right back from Kanter. Speaking with TMZ Sports, Kanter also revealed that he is good friends with Paul Heyman and has spoken to Vince McMahon and Triple H about a WWE career. The WWE UK Championship, currently held by Walter, was stolen in a smash and grab from Walter's rental car. According to PDA Insider, along with the title, the champion's passport was also taken in Chicago, Illinois. Apparently, several indie stars have also reported break-ins near Logan Square in Chicago, the site of Evolve 142. One was last night and one was tonight. Last night, Saturday night, Walter defeated Timothy Thatcher in a non-title match at Evolve 141. Thatcher's rental car was also broken into and property stolen. Walter is scheduled to face Evolve champion Josh Briggs on tonight's show. Didn't get the results for that because it's still ongoing. Yeah, for sure, Kanter said. Full time, I'm ready. I'm actually already taking time talking to some people. I'm really good friends with Paul Heyman, and I actually got to meet with Triple H and Vince McMahon. Okay, that was back from what Kanter was saying. Hall of Famer Kurt Angle was with Lacey Evans, Callisto, and other WWE superstars at Camp Lejeune in Jacksonville, Florida, to film material for the 2019 tribute to the troops. Matches for the special will likely be taped. Angle wrote on Instagram, "Today we are at Camp Lejeune in Jacksonville, North Carolina, visiting a highly intensity tactical training facility for the Marine Corps. Thanks to all who serve in our military. Hashtag tribute to the troops. 17th annual WWE Tribute to the Troops will be the first time the event is held at a Marine Corps base. There's still no word on yet when the 2019 Tribute to the Troops will air. Stay tuned, and I'll keep you updated and listen to the Angle's post." Well, the matches that are advertised: Seth Rollins versus Eric Rowan in a boot camp match. Andrade and Drew tag teaming with Drew McIntyre versus Kevin Owens and Humberto Carrillo. Women's tag team champions Asuka and Kairi Sane versus Sarah Logan and Natalya. Appearances by WWE Hall of Famer Mark Henry, Braun Strowman, Alexa Bliss, Nikki Cross, Marine, Lacey Evans, and others. And most of these were on the SmackDown show as well, because they showed highlights of all that on the show itself. WWE also tweeted photos of Angle, Evans, Elias, Apollo Crews, Callisto, Roman Reigns, Dana Brooke, Heath Slater, Street Profits, and SmackDown Tag Team Champions of the New Day participating in various events. Activities with the Marines at Camp Lejeune earlier in the day. And trees for the troops at this link. You can see it. Hashtag tribute at Real Kurt Angle, at I Am Elias WWE, at WWE Apollo, at WWE at Callisto WWE, at Lacey Evans WWE. Well, another tweet from at WWEPR at Montez Ford, ready for WWE tribute to the troops. At WWE themselves, before the episode of SmackDown, at Roman Reigns, Dana Brooke, Big E, True Kofi, Heath Slater, OMRB, visited at Camp _Lejeune and took part in some at USMC activities. Hashtag troops. At MCAS New River, at Depth of Defense. That's the Department of Defense at this link. All of them in the link. This week's SmackDown episode saw Lacey Evans win an easy match over enhancement talent Haley Jones. Jones was played by the ringmaster Hazel, who comes from the Jacobs Pritchard Wrestling Academy, owned by Kane and Dr. Tom Pritchard, the first student that made her debut from wrestling school. Jones graduated from the JPWA school in May of this year and was one of several JPW students who WWE booked as extras this week. SmackDown on Fox opens with a video package looking back at what happened this week with Daniel Bryan and Universal Champion The Fiend Bray Wyatt. Didn't get any pre-show dark matches. And we also see how the Yes Movement apparently returned last week. Live for the Crown Coliseum in Fayetteville, North Carolina. Michael Cole welcomes us, chimed in by Corey Graves at ringside. Music immediately hits and the Miz is already making his way to the ring for another must-see episode of Miz TV. Miz says he was supposed to start the show with Miz TV and Daniel Bryan as his guest, but after the horrific actions last week, Bryan has disappeared. Miz goes on and says he knows Bryan better than a lot of people because of their history, and he believes we saw the real Bryan last week and the Yes Movement returned. But the Fiend yanked it away, and now Bryan is nowhere to be found. Miz makes it clear that he never liked Bryan, but he cares. Miz can't believe he's saying that. He vows to get to the bottom of everything and find out what happened to Bryan. Firefly Funhouse suddenly appears on the Titantron as WWE Universal Champion Bray Wyatt appears on the big screen. He taunts Miz and says Miz doesn't want to know about Bryan. He's not sure if he even wants to know what happened because Brian could be with him. Wyatt says he might not be done with Brian. Wyatt says Brian is supposed to come play with him at TLC, but he's not sure if he will be able to make it. So maybe Miz wants to play at TLC instead. That's with the unmasked Bray Wyatt. Miz interrupts about Brian being family in WWE. Wyatt is sad that no one wants to play, but the word family got his attention. Family is the word of the day, according to Ramblin' Rabbit. Wyatt said he used to have a family. The screen flashes for the Fiend. Wyatt says now he has a chance to join a new family. He picks up a framed photo of the Miz, Maurice, and their kids. Wyatt laughs and asks Miz if he wants to come play with him now. Miz isn't happy. He exits the ring and heads to the back. As Wyatt laughs and says it's time to say goodbye from the funhouse. We're going to commercial. Back from the break, Miz is backstage talking to Maurice on the phone about what Bray Wyatt just said. Miz tells her to calm down. Everything will be fine. But just lock everything up to be safe. Miz says he is taking a flight home to be with his family. He walks off. Mandy Rose versus Alexa Bliss was up next. We go to the ring. Out comes Mandy Rose with Sonya Deville. Greg Hamilton does ring introductions. Out next comes Alexa Bliss with Nikki Cross. Jessica Hart is making her SmackDown debut as a new referee for SmackDown. Full-time main roster debut. Rose and Bliss tangle. Rose talks trash about being careful with her face. Bliss drops Rose with a drop toe hold and sends her to the floor for a breather. Bliss goes for a baseball side but misses. Rose comes right back with a big jumping knee to drop Bliss on the floor. Rose smashes Bliss into the apron a few times and talks trash. Rose brings her back in the ring for a 2 count. Rose keeps Bliss grounded now. Manhandles her some on the mat as referee warns her. Rose rips some of Bliss's eyelashes off. Rose taunts Bliss some more as fans boo her. I think they were fake. Should pull the whole thing off. Bliss fights up and out. Rose rocks her with a right hand and then drop kicks her. Rose with a running kick to the face for another pin attempt. The referee called the pin off because of Rose's foot was under the rope. They argue, more back and forth action as Bliss rolls Rose up for a 2 count. Rose with more trash talking and bullying around. A furious Bliss grabs her throat and pushes her back, then slams her down in the middle of the ring. Bliss with a right hand and a basement drop kick. Bliss kicks the shoulder and stomps on Rose's face. Deville gets on the apron, but jumps off when Bliss swings. Cross with a crossbody from the steel steps to Deville on the floor. Rose tries to take advantage, but it backfires. Bliss comes back and plants Rose again. Bliss goes to the top. It's a fan cheer on. She nails Twisted Bliss and covers Rose for the pin and the win. After the match, Bliss stands tall in the meat place. We see Bliss's eyelashes on the mat, and we get a replay showing how they were ripped off. Cross and Bliss celebrate as the replays continue. Still to come segment, Constipated Corbin vowed to humiliate Roman Reigns. As we get Reigns versus Ziggler will be later on. Danny Brooks backstage at catering when Jake Maverick approaches. He brings up how Brooke said on WWE's The Bump that she's going on a dinner date with Batista. Dana says that she is, and she's excited. Drake thought he and Dana had something going between them last week. He asked what Batista has that he doesn't. The guitar plays. Suddenly, out of nowhere, Elias appears. He starts playing and singing as Dana and a table of people behind him start dancing. Elias sings about Batista being better than Drake and Drake getting no action. There's also a line about Drake's wife waking up in Elias' bed. Drake slaps Elias and walks off. Dana asks if that really happened with Drake's wife. Elias says no, but it's going to happen now. Elias walks off and we go to commercial. Back for the break, and Drake Maverick is in the ring, asking everyone if they think it is funny. He asks Elias if he thinks this is funny. Fan chat yes, and Drake isn't happy. Drake tells Elias that no one makes mockery of him, his marriage, or his beautiful wife. Drake calls Elias out to the ring so they can fight. Music hits, out comes Elias with Dana Brooke. Elias enters the ring by himself. Drake charges and Elias easily holds him back with one arm. Remember how the fight with the Little Rascals, Alfalfa, would punch boxing glove and holding him back, and he just goes swinging wildly, just like that. While Drake swings and kicks away, Dana laughs at ringside. Drake swings and misses, hitting the mat. Elias manhandles Drake some, and then bends him over his knee and spanks him. Elias punt kicks Drake in the rear end to finally kick him out of the ring as Dana claps. Elias brings Drake back in the ring, but he gets right back out. Dana grabs Drake and rolls him back in the ring. Elias kicks Drake below the belt and hits him with a drift away to lay him out. Dana walks in and puts her boot on Elias as Drake counts the pinfall. Well, no ref. Miz is walking through the backstage area on a mission. He kicks open one door and walks in. Family photo from earlier is sitting on the table, but a smiling Bray Wyatt has been placed over the Miz. Wyatt suddenly appears behind Miz in his funhouse gear, and he tells him to say cheese. Miz turns around, and Wyatt drops him with a Sister Abigail. Wyatt laughs and taunts Miz some more on his way out of the room after placing the framed photo on his chest. Back to commercial. Back for the break, Miz is being helped up in the back. He's looking for his photo that was placed on his chest, but it's gone. Coleslaw shows us some of the treats from today's 17th annual tribute to the troops that I was telling you about earlier. We go to the ring. Out comes SmackDown Tag Team Champions New Day. Kobe against the Big E. Cole and Graves plug their new podcast as they toss pancakes to the fans. Fatal 4-way #1 contenders elimination match. Mustafa Ali and Shorty G versus the Lucha House Party versus the Revival versus Heavy Machinery. We go to the ring for the Fatal 4-way that will crown the new #1 contenders to challenge the New Day for the titles at TLC. Out first comes Mustafa Ali and his partner Shorty G was out next. Out next comes the Lucha House Party. All three members. Revival was out next. Scott Dawson, Dash Waller. Heavy Machinery was out last. Otis and Tucker. G and Metallic start things off. Going back and forth. The trade holds again. And G takes Metallic down in the middle of the ring. Ali tags in for the quick double team. They go back and forth some more. Then show each other up a few times. They have another exchange for another stalemate. It's a fan cheer. Lance and Tucker go at it in the ring. Tucker lands a big drop kick. The Revival runs in, but Lance and Tucker fight them off. Lance and Tucker go back at it against themselves. Tucker uses Lance to knock other opponents off the apron. Lance with a springboard back stunner to Tucker. Otis tags in, and Lance ducks. Then drop kicks him out of the ring. Lance and Metallic hit double springboard moonsaults to the others on the floor. Calypso celebrates and tries to get a lucha chant going. Revival take out others on the floor. Heavy Machinery hits a compactor on Metallic to get the pin. Lucha House Party has been eliminated. Calypso comes in and argues with the referee as Tucker and Otis stand tall. Back to commercial. Back from the break, G is going at it with Tucker. New Day is still on commentary. Otis was taken out during the break. Launched into the barrier. Dash fights off Tucker and knocks G off the apron. Tucker kicks Dash back. G tags in and charges at Tucker but gets dropped. Dawson tags in but Tucker backjumps him. Otis marches to the ring for a pop. He tags in and takes out multiple opponents. Otis spins Dawson around and slams him. Otis runs into Dawson's boot in the corner. Dawson rocks Otis some more, but he takes it and hulks up. Otis keeps taking shots, then launches Dawson across the ring. Otis with a big splash in the corner. Dash tags in, but Otis knocks him off the apron. Otis calls for the Caterpillar as fans pop. He hits it on Dawson, but Dash comes in with a sunset flip. With an assist, rolls Otis up for the pin. Heavy Machinery has been eliminated. Fans boo as Tucker and Otis are sent to the back as Revival takes credit. Revival faces off in the ring with G and Ali. Revival turns their back, but immediately turns back around and starts fighting. Ali and G trade strikes with them. The two teams take it to the floor with the Revival getting the upper hand. The Revival argues with the New Day at ringside now. Revival goes to bring Ali and G back in the ring, but they counter and toss the Revival into the New Day. Pancakes fly everywhere. Kofi Kingston and Big E argue with G and Ali as Revival gets up next to them. Back to commercial. Back from the break, Dawson has G in a submission. More back and forth. G with multiple German suplexes to Dash. Ali with a big kick into the German suplex for a 2 count as Dawson makes a save just in time. G tumbles to the floor with Dawson off of a crossbody. Wilder and Ali go at it. Wilder turns him inside out. Dash runs into an elbow in the corner. Ali comes off the top, but Wilder counters in midair and plants him for a 2 count. Ali ends up hitting a tornado DDT on Dash. Ali goes up top, but rolls through on the 450 as Dawson pulled Dash to safety. Ali dives out, but they catch him and throw him into the timekeeper's area. Shorty G runs the apron and leaps off, taking down both opponents. G brings Dash back in and lands on his feet from a moonsault as Dash gets his knees up. G with an ankle lock on Dash. Dash sends G into a Dawson uppercut from the floor. Dawson runs in and they hit the Shadow Machine for the pin and the win. After the match, Revival stands tall as the music plays. We go to replays. Revival takes the mic. As the New Day heads up the ramp, they say, "It's a new day no more." They're taking over. And back to the old days, the fundamentals. What brought them to the dance? Old school, old-fashioned tag team wrestling. They go on about the New Day will no longer be able to make a joke about out of the titles and everything else. No more pancakes and unicorns. Dawson says after TLC, they can go back to crying behind their desks and doing what they do. But at least they will be able to say that they got beat by the best tag team in WWE, the Revival. Dawson wraps up the promo as the two teams face off in the ring and on the stage. As we see what happened last week with Roman Reigns, King Corbin, Robert Roode, and Dolph Ziggler. Kayla Braxton backstage with Roman. She says, "We just saw what Reigns did to Robert Roode last week and asks if he will do the same to Dolph Ziggler tonight." She also mentions King Corbin being at ringside. Reigns isn't worried about Corbin or anyone with him. He goes on and says at TLC, he will embarrass Corbin with a table, a ladder, or a chair. Reigns walks off and goes to go to commercial. Back for the break. Coleslaw plugs. CM Punk be on next week's WWE Backstage episode. We cut to another Sheamus visit. Sheamus says he returned to SmackDown to find it weak and lazy. The Titans that he used to face have become weak shells of their former self. He says they face no real competition and there's no one fierce enough to stand against him now. The Celtic Warrior has come home and he's ready to ravage everyone who gets in his way. So it's Sheamus. Next up, we got the women's match. Lacey Evans versus Haley Jones, the enhancement talent. Well, we go back to the ring, and out first comes Lacey. We see what happened last week with Lacey facing off with Sasha Banks and SmackDown Women's Champion Bayley. They then dropping Banks. Evans hits the ring, and the enhancement talent Haley Jones awaits. The bell rings, and they go at it. Evans takes control and grounds Jones. They break, and Evans talk trash. They go at it again. Jones finally fights out of a corner, but Evans drops her out of nowhere where the one was right, and Evans covers for the win. After the match, Evans stands tall as the music hits. Music interrupts, out comes Sasha Banks. Banks asks Evans if she thought she was going to leave. Banks tells Evans to wait in the ring because they have some unfinished business. Banks walks to the ring as we go back to commercial. Back for the break, and Sasha is talking trash to Lacey from the apron. Banks reminds Evans who she is, adding that she's the leader of the women's division. Fans boo. Banks says Evans is pathetic, a little Mary Poppins wannabe. Banks tells Evans to never, ever mess with her or Bayley again. Banks calls Evans a pathetic role model to her bratty little 6-year-old daughter. Evans cuts her off and warns her never to say anything about her daughter. Evans says not only is she a mother, she's a Marine and trusts her. Banks doesn't want her to put those boots back on. Evans interrupted them last week because she's tired of hearing them blame everyone else for their failures. Fan chant for Lacey's name. Evans goes on about leadership and learning from the Marine Corps and says Banks and Bayley are pathetic when it comes to being leaders. Evans threatens to drop Banks if she comes in. They drop the mics and Banks gets in Evans' face. Evans acts like she's going for a woman's right, but it just sends Sasha on her butt. Screaming afraid, Evans makes her exit. as the music hits. SmackDown Women's Champion Bayley suddenly attacks from behind at the entranceway as she gets to the doorway and nails from the back when she turns around. Banks and Bayley double team Evans as fans pop. Fans boo, I should say. We see what happened earlier with the Miz and Bray Wyatt. Miz versus Wyatt is confirmed for TLC, but it looks like the title will not be on the line. We see Dolph Ziggler and King Corbin backstage talking. Back commercial. Back for the break. Cole Saw shows us more highlights from today's Tribute to the Truth events. And we get Roman Reigns versus Dolph Ziggler. We go to the ring for tonight's main event. As Roman makes his way out, Reigns punches the ground and makes the pyro explode. Ziggler was out next. Bell rings and they size each other up as the crowd gets into the match. Reigns goes for a takedown as Ziggler, but they go to the ropes and the referee counts. Ziggler kicks Reigns' knee and goes to work on him. Ziggler with a neck breaker for a 2 count. Ziggler has the momentum going. He grounds Reigns and talks trash while going for his eyes. Cole says Robert Roode is out indefinitely due to last week's beatdown from Reigns. Ziggler keeps control as fans boo him some more. Ziggler waits for Reigns to get up. He leaps across the ring, but Reigns knocks him into midair. Reigns powers up as Ziggler goes out for a breather. Reigns also leaves the ring, runs around for the drive-by. Ziggler blocks it and sends Reigns into steel steps. Reigns is down as we go to commercial. Back for the break. Ziggler has Reigns down. Ziggler gets a 2 count and a drop kick for another quick pin attempt. Ziggler then yells at Reigns and kicks him around while he's done. Ziggler smacks Reigns around, telling him to do something, like Cena was saying, do something. His last time in the ring. Reigns gets up and rocks Ziggler with big right hands. Ziggler sends Reigns face first into the turnbuckles. Reigns rolls to the floor, checking on his nose. Ziggler runs around the ring and launches Reigns rib first into the barrier. Ziggler with more yelling in Reigns' face. Ziggler brings Reigns back in the ring for a 2 count. Ziggler keeps Reigns grounded with another headlock. Reigns finally powers up from the mat and unloads with a clothesline to begin his comeback. Reigns misses the clothesline, but then dumps Ziggler over the top rope to the floor. Fans pop as Reigns stands tall now. Reigns got the momentum going. Reigns charges on the floor, leaps off the steel steps, but Ziggler super kicks him in midair. They both go down on the outside. King Corbin, music hits. Corbin comes out, being carried on his throne by servants with the seat-in, or sit-down. Cole says Corbin was brought out to watch the match. We go to commercial with Corbin's servants holding him up on the ramp. More back and forth. After the break, Ziggler drops Reigns with a big DDT for a close 2 count. As Corbin watches from his sedan on the ramp, Ziggler waits for Reigns to get up. Reigns blocks a zigzag, and Ziggler blocks a spear, rolling Reigns up for a 2 count. Reigns comes back and nails a Superman punch, but Ziggler kicks out right before the 10 count. Corbin stands up on his sedan and taunts Reigns. Fans rally for Reigns now. He yells at Corbin, then turns around for a spear on Ziggler. Ziggler kicks his spear attempt, rocks him in the corner, and nails a zigzag for a close pin attempt. Corbin has stepped down from the sedan now, watching the match from ringside. Fans boo as Corbin gets on the apron and argues with the referee. Reigns sees this and is fuming. Reigns jumps up and hits a Superman punch on Corbin to knock him off the apron. Ziggler tries to take advantage and rolls Reigns up for a 2 count. Reigns comes right back with a spear for the win. After the match, Reigns stands tall and has his arm raised. Corbin's servants help him up at ringside. Reigns exits the ring and runs around for a big drive-by on Corbin and a few of the servants. A few other servants attack Reigns now. They bring him into the ring, but Reigns starts fighting them off. Corbin finally comes in and levels Reigns. The fight ends up on the floor again as the servants come back at Reigns. Reigns fights him, and them and Corbin off, sending Corbin over to the announce table. Fans pop as Reigns clears the table off now. Ziggler comes over with a big super kick to Reigns at ringside. Ziggler goes under the ring, brings out handcuffs, but there's somebody under the ring. I've seen. The servants help cuff Reigns to the ring, but he fights everyone off once again. Corbin and Ziggler have cuffed Reigns to the ring post with the cuffs and chains. Corbin unloads on Reigns, while he's trapped as the boos get louder. Ziggler joins in and punches and headbutts. Now, referee try to get them to stop, but they keep double teaming Reigns while he's shackled to the post. They bring out wet dog food and smear it all over Reigns now. It doesn't even hit his head or anything, just rolls down his shoulder and what have you. Shoving it in his face and all over him. Corbin brings his scepter out as well. Back from his sedan, the referees finally get Corbin and Ziggler to head to the back. As the boos get much louder, Reigns is just hanging from the ring post with both arms. And shackled above his head, Corbin and Ziggler head to the back as Reigns finally wakes up and screams out. Covered in dog food and shackled. SmackDown goes off the air. There was somebody under the ring holding his leg so he couldn't get back up in the ring. And that's when Dolph handcuffed him to the ring post. 205 Live results. Commentators Tom Phillips and Aiden English welcome us to the show. Brand new episode of 205 Live. First match of the night is announced. Raul Mendoza versus Angel Garza. Mendoza goes right away for Garza's arm when the match first starts. Garza breaks out of a hold, then steps outside to take a breather. Mendoza starts off with a body scissors, but Garza reverses out of it, puts Mendoza in a side headlock. After a few back and forth, a tension arm drags between the two men. Garza gets down on one knee and tells Mendoza to shake his hand. He puts his hand out. Mendoza kicks the hand away. Mendoza lands a hurricanrana on Garza on the outside, back inside the ring. Garza super kicks Mendoza right into the chin. Garza follows it with a PK towards Garza midsection. Garza taunts Mendoza while he's down. Garza goes for another super kick. He goes for the cover, and Mendoza kicks out. After the kick out, Garza locks Mendoza's left leg. Mendoza flips over and starts kicking his way out of the hole. Mendoza gets up and lands several strong right hooks before putting Garza down with a clothesline. Mendoza covers, only gets a 2 count. Garza sets up for a waistlock submission. Mendoza reverses it. Both men exchange kicks. Mendoza lands a standing Spanish fly. He goes for the cover, and Garza kicks out. Mendoza flies over the top rope, lands on Garza on the outside. Back to the ring, Garza catches Mendoza in a super kick. Garza ends the match with a wing clipper. Garza goes for the cover, and the match is over. 1, 2, 3. Video footage is shown from the gentleman Jack Gallagher losing his temper over losing his match against Garza from last week. And Gallagher took to social media and said, "I'm done." Tony Nese versus Trent Newman. Nese starts the match with a takedown on Newman. Nese covers Newman and lands a few hard chest chops. Newman Irish whips Nese to the outside opposite corner, and it gets reversed by Nese. The Singh brothers on the outside are filming the match. Nese flies off the second rope with a moonsault. He covers Newman, and Newman kicks out at 2. Nese picks up Newman and throws him back first into the turnbuckles. Nese follows that up with a running knee. Nese goes for the cover one last time and wins the match. After the match, Singh brothers slam Newman with the Bollywood blast. And now your main event, Danny Burch versus Leo Rush. Rush and Burch lock up. Burch stomps on Rush's hands and then goes for a side headlock. Rush breaks out of a hole and sends Burch into the ropes. Burch counters and puts Rush in another headlock. Rush kicks Burch right in the midsection. Burch punches Rush from the outside, then sends him into barricade. Both men are back in the ring. Burch puts Rush in a chin lock. Rush breaks out of it with a few kicks. Burch slaps Rush right across the face. Burch goes for the cover, but Rush kicks out. Rush fires back with a backhand springboard and then a middle rope drive. Rush climbs to the top rope. Burch gets up and throws Rush. Rush counters. Burch headbutts Rush. Then goes for a step-up enziguri. Burch with an inside-out clothesline. Burch goes for the cover. Rush kicks out at 2. Rush fights back with a middle rope cutter. He climbs to the top, and Garza runs down to the ring and pushes him off. Referee calls for the match. Garza puts Rush in the ring clipper after he grabs the NXT Cruiserweight Championship and holds on to it before the show ends. Winner by DQ, Leo Rush. This after the 205 live episode from Fayetteville saw Tony Nese replace the Singh brothers in a match against enhancement talent Trent Newman. Newman lost the match to Nese and then took a double team from the Singh brothers after the match. Trent was played by Carolina indie wrestler Tracer X, who previously appeared on 205 Live in August 2018 for a loss to Hideo Itami And a video of the match from 205 Live. Dark main event after 205 Live from Crown Coliseum and from Fayetteville, North Carolina. Saw Universal Champion The Fiend Bray Wyatt retain over The Miz. I also noted Miz versus Bray Wyatt has been announced for December 15th, TLC pay-per-view. WWE indicated that this will be a non-title bout since it's Bray Wyatt himself, not The Fiend. And that Wyatt will not wrestle as The Fiend. At Dylan Huffman TV, at this link, hashtag SmackDown Dark Match, The Fiend versus at Mike The Miz at WWE on Fox. At the link. And the second Twitter account at EDURX4 Dark Match, The Fiend gets The Miz at this link. Awesome match. At Mike The Miz, at WWE Graves, at WWE on Fox, at Renee Young, WWE, at Michael Cole, at WWE Bray Wyatt, hashtag WWE, hashtag WWE Network, hashtag SmackDown, hashtag Fox. And that link. And that concludes my show for this week. Thanks again. Peace out. See you one of you. If you don't know, brothers and sisters, call me.